In this video, we are going to be interviewing a Venice local who also happens to own a business here so that you can get an idea of what it's like to have a business here.
By the way, this video is not sponsored. He was just kind enough to spend some time with us.
Phil, tell us about Dive Bar Nutrition. Love the name, by the way. Tell us about kind of how it got started.
A number of years ago, I was a teaching assistant at a university in the health and exercise department, and half the students were hungover, half the students were just drowsy, trying to get their butts to the university gym, but just sluggish. This is about the same time, like 6 or even 7 years ago, that protein bars were really exploding. So most of the kids had a bar in their hand, and I started thinking, well, if I could like recreate that bar, get some nutrients like you'd find in a Gatorade or some of the kids' hangover cures, we could get these kids over their hangover, we could get them awake, we could get them performing better in the gym. So I started playing around with all of that stuff, and I think I made it taste better too. So it was sort of addressing the students' hangovers, Dive Bar Nutrition.
Very cool.
Love it. So we see that you have a facility here, but I don't see like a physical store. Do you mainly mail out your products, or how does that work?
We are carried by a handful of small businesses around the States, but we're probably 98-99% e-commerce, online, all stemming from our website. And before that, it's actually driven by social media, predominantly Instagram. We've been kicking butt. We're always working with stores, but we're so busy, we're just shipping them out every day. And Venice Island Post Office is just down the street. The mail carrier comes, and every other day we fill that mail jeep.
You were saying earlier to us how you basically bounced the business around. Why did you move to Venice? What was that whole process like?
I was New York raised. About 21, I went out to LA, tried to do the musician thing for like 10 years. In my early 30s, I got into fitness. I wanted to go into the education side of it, be a phys ed instructor. I ended up getting hired in a small New Mexico community college called Mesa Lands Community College. While it was just a teacher salary, my rent was $300. So this idea for the protein bar that I always had lurking in the back of my mind suddenly became something I could attempt to do. And I say like, oh, you know, $5,000 later down the drain. It's probably like $500 to $1,000. R&D, trial and error. End up making a bar that I kind of liked. I was also going on closing out 2 years teaching with them. Getting a little bored because it's a smaller town than I was accustomed to. My folks had retired to Venice. They'd been here about a year and a half, 2 years, absolutely loved it. My dad said, hey, you know what? You're finishing up your second school year. You're doing pretty well with those protein bars. You're selling a few of them. Let me look around. Maybe I can find a commercial property or something you could rent. He found our facility here. It was previously outfitted for a private wedding cake baker. Minimal investment. We just had to replace some equipment, get it re-inspected. Brought the business on over here. It was a breeze to incorporate. Everything was super easy breezy. All the great things you hear about Florida are true, from the taxation being non-existent. The fees are very modest and fair. And here we are in Venice.
How do you like living in Venice and owning a business in Venice?
I love living in Venice. It's great in that it's just wedged between two metropoli. That small town vibe of people are very friendly. Folks at a store or service will take the extra time to tell you what you're interested in or share their knowledge base with you. But at the same time, it's not the small town that of 4,000 people that I had left in New Mexico. We are fully stocked with all the amenities. If you need something at the hardware store, you got 3 hardware stores. If you needed the grocery, Lord knows how many, we've got 5 or 6 of them all over. And when you need the occasional rare item, something, an ethnic ingredient or something kind of rare for a tool or something, you go right up to Sarasota. In no time at all, you have the few more shops or services that we don't have here. Everyone's been really great to work with. Running a business here, it's just been a breeze to incorporate. Nothing but good things to say about the folks in Tallahassee, from the taxation and sales revenue department, the health and permitting people. It's remarkable that it's now the 3rd most populated state, but you can call these departments. You may not even be on hold, but within 5 minutes, someone answers. They're actually friendly. You know, I grew up in New York. It's like the DMV folks. They're dying to tell you, you did your form wrong. Thanks for waiting for 3 hours, but take a hike. It's really incredible. You hope it lasts forever, and it may not, but this blend of small town kindness and hospitality with everything you need from a large town and the 3rd busiest, most populated state just collide into one, and that's kind of living in Venice and running a business here.
Tell me a little bit more about the flavors. I love some of the names, and then I saw over there was a rack with some ones that I didn't see in some of these racks. Are those like experiments, or is that?
Yeah, so we get a lot of interest in the names. A number number of them have kind of quirky names. So the backstory to that is the genesis of the product. I was a trainer for many years, and I was always very frustrated that fitness is sort of divided now into, you know, the big He-Man roided out guys, protein powder and fat burner powders. That's a biohazard symbol and a bicep with barbed wires all over it. And then you have the Planet Fitness, YouFit, just kind of user-friendly. Let's all try to be our best self. The bold and vibrant colors. I was kind of always drawn to that. I wasn't the He-Man. I wasn't taking steroids. My clients as a fitness trainer were just ordinary people who were very busy trying to drop that last 5, 10 pounds, whatever it was. So I gravitated toward that. And I thought, well, you know what no one's ever done? Let's have fun with a fitness snack. Even the existing protein bars kind of took themselves very serious. I kind of did the Ben & Jerry thing. You'll see we have a trash can cookie. Every other brand makes a birthday cake. We made divorce cake. These red shelves right here are our primary flavors. They're relatively constant. Some of them may come and go every 6 months. We then have flavors of the month. We try to knock out 3. Sometimes we just make so many good experiments, we'll release 4 in the month. But we go by a theme, whether it's October, we do Halloween theme. We're about to enter back to school. So you'll have some sort of coffee and Java lava, things that a kid might take back to college, a cereal. We're going to launch a fruit cereal thing.
Oh, nice.
Several days. The shelf in the back is last month's flavor of the month, so they usually go on a clearance.
I saw the chicken waffle one, and that one automatically caught my attention.
Yes, there's a fine print. It says, hold the waffle.
Okay.
Excuse me, hold the chicken.
Okay, I was gonna
hold
say,
the chicken. Oh, yeah, there'd be a chicken nugget in there. No, it's chicken and waffle, hold the chicken, sub pecans.
Oh, okay.
So it's a waffle pecan, very mapley.
Since we do live in a primarily older people town, do you have a lot of problems getting maybe someone who's a little more advanced in technology? Do you have problems getting someone to do all this work for you?
I'll put an interesting spin on this. It's a sort of yes but no answer. We do have some challenges getting the more tech-based positions and tasks filled. But first, let me put over the older element here in Venice. We're a very small team. If you want to count my mom, who comes in and packs orders about 2 to 3 times a week, half of them are seniors. They're great. They work hard. They're very good. Of course, they're not as much involved in the tech, but I'll take a second to sort of paint the picture in that it's very hard for us to get any tech folks. We are between 2 major cities, Fort Myers, maybe an hour about south, Tampa, a little over an hour to the north. Those are just where the computer-based, computer-savvy young adults live. We have another freelancer team. Right now we have 3 to 4 folks who we never had them here. You know, I've met many of them. I've met the bulk of them, but anything with designing an advertisement, creating a 10-second animation for a social media ad, some website. I do a lot of the web development myself, and I run the e-commerce store, but occasionally I hit a point where I can't get a graphic done. Designing these to a template that the print press wanted, these carton boxes, touch beyond my skill set. We have people who are working from home. I email them the project, we go through it back and forth, a few drafts and revisions, and we nail it down. So we have not had any problem hiring due to the mean average age here in Venice, and a lot of the older folks have been as great or better than the younger ones who we've encountered. And now it's time for my favorite time, taste test time. I want to share with you 2 of our best-selling flavors, trash can cookie and divorce cake. Divorce cake obviously implies some sort of a sweet, vanilla-based birthday cake-like flavor. The Midwest folks love a trash can cookie. Ours happens to be a peanut butter-based cookie with M&M-like candies with little candy shells and chocolates in it, chocolate chip, and a little sprinkle of toffee bits.
Okay.
Hope you love
that
them both.
sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds awesome.
There we go. It's very chewy. You'll see it's kind of like I described.
Yeah.
It's a protein cookie dough. And I'll do a little speaking because you're going to need 30 seconds to get that off your palate. Again, a peanut butter base, 2 sources of chocolates. It's a sports performance food, and I mentioned some folks enjoy it on their diet. There's a couple of more carbs than some of the other stuff out there, but everything else with the low to no carb is just synthetic. It's the chemical stuff. It's like just taking a packet of artificial sweetener off the diner table and just chugging it. Kind of fake and gross. So we sprinkle just enough chocolate chips and bits in there to make you enjoy the thing. We've found a happy sweet spot where you're only adding like 25, 30 calories to the other bars out in the industry space, and now suddenly you like it. It's something you're gonna burn off if you park at the mall and you walk, 200
He
yards.
loves peanut butter.
Oh,
so-
you're gonna like it.
This is fantastic.
What'd you think?
No, it's really good.
It tastes like peanut butter and a cookie combined.
And then the little
Bits.
candy in
And
there.
a chocolate chip cookie with peanut butter and the little M&Ms. I love it.
Yeah.
Very
Thank you.
good.
Second and final taste test on site. We mentioned earlier divorce cake, our version of a birthday cake. The divorce cake is an almond butter base, hints of vanilla, all things cakey. Got some white chocolate, very light dosage of rainbow sprinkles in there. Blows everything else out of the water. You're energized for the day. You're not
really
hungover.
good.
You're in the gym. You work out for 4 hours, and everybody loves you. And stray dogs are nice. too.
Bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
I could eat these instead of a meal and for dessert.
Well, there you go. Some people enjoy us as a meal replacement. Some people incorporate us into their diet. And some people just need energy. We all hit that point midday. You had lunch at noon, dinner's at 6:37 or 8. That's where the dive bar comes in. Check us out at divebarnutrition.com. If you're interested in a sample, give us an email. You're welcome to call. If you do live in Sarasota County, we're very careful. We try to be mindful of when I have my team working here. Try to give you an order in person. If you want to pick it up, you're welcome to arrange that. Why should you pay $5-6 shipping if you live 1, 5, 8 miles away? Come on down, see Venice. It's beautiful. We're 2 miles from the jetty and the beach. Downtown Venice is just a zig and a zag away. I hope everybody sees not only what we're doing, but how wonderful it is down here in Venice. Nothing but good things to say. Bring your business down to Florida.